Jimmy. And smoke on loud. I got perfect attendance. I ran that work.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'm gonna talk about college. Everything you need to know about college, all of that. I wanted to do this before summer school starts, but as you can tell, we're not so sure if it's gonna be on campus or online. So, hopefully, fall will pan out for you guys. And I'm saying you guys like I'm not still in school, but I always try to give you little tips here and there just to make sure we stay on track with school. So there are no surprises when you get to school. Honestly, I wish I had someone who was in school before me and could tell me all about it, because I learned everything on my own. I did have surprises daily, but I'm the type of person who's not willing to do routine. I like to add in new stuff each day just to keep my day interesting. So, if you're one of those people who like surprises, keep watching. Or don't keep watching, because I'm just going to tell you everything you need to know about college so you won't be surprised. So it's probably not a good thing. But anyways, besides that, you guys, I hope you guys have had a great quarantine. Hopefully it be over soon, you guys, because I'm tired of this quarantine. But I still have to work, so it's not really quarantine for me, because I still have to work. My hours have gotten longer, my days have got shorter, if that makes sense. But anyways, let's get straight into it. And to start off this video, I always want to say, make sure you go to class. I know when you was in high school, you could miss a couple of days and still catch up. But in college, they don't want you to miss days. Because for one, the professor thinks it set her back from, or him, back from teaching. So, honestly, don't miss days, because you never know when they decide to give test hints. Now, I will say this: if you do have a S&T slip, which is not called it anymore, if you do have like an excuse of absence, then they'll try to work with you. But you must have someone who, I think if you're in the hospital, you have to have all your documentation lined up. If you was in a car wreck and you wasn't hurt, I don't think that would be an excuse absent, because when I was in my car wreck, it wasn't an excuse absent, and I had all my documentation, and they still didn't excuse it. It was just my professor. She just gave me all my paperwork that I missed that day, and asked me was I okay, and asked me was it any problem with me catching up. So she did help me a little bit, but she was always there when I needed help. All I could do was just send her an email and she'd tell me what I need to do, what I missed, what notes I need to get, all of that stuff. Get involved on campus. It's going to be a lot of diversity, a lot of new experiences. You have to go in college with an open mind, because you say, I don't want to do this, I'm not going to do that, I don't want to do that. But you got to think about it. You have to enjoy the experience, and plus you have to gain all the professional relationships, because you never know. Sometimes you might need a letter of recommendation to another school. You might need you might need that person to get you in the door at your first job. So you just never know. You have to approach everybody in college that way. And plus you have to go there and make friends. So what's the problem? Okay, moving on. Throughout the semester, you will always get an email that asks you to update your FAFSA. I will put the link to your FAFSA below. if you guys cannot find it. When you fill out your FAFSA, if you are an independent, meaning you have your own job and your parents do not file you on their taxes, you must have your all your filing papers ready, all your W-2s and all of that stuff ready. So yeah, make sure you keep that up to date, because that will decide how much money you get to help you through school, and help you pay for your tuition, all of that stuff. So try to keep it up to date. And plus check in on like your grants, your state grants. I know Mississippi have a website that you can go to, just to help with your grants. But as soon as you fill out your FAFSA and you put your email address on there, then they'll tell you everything else you need to do with that. They'll send you the website to do all of your Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, California. Everybody have a different website, so just fill it out. And then you'll get a state website. That state website is going to tell you how much grant you can get, all of that stuff. It do have like scholarships and all of that stuff. Now moving on to the dorms. Bring enough clothes to the dorm for 2 weeks. I don't want everybody to bring their whole closet. Cause you on a limited space. So bring enough clothes for 2 weeks. And then after those 2 weeks, you'll have enough time to wash clothes. You can go home and just trade out those clothes to get more clothes. However you want to do it. But they do always have a washer and a dryer at your dorm. Now, I don't know if it's free, but every dorm every college I done went to with a dorm, it was free. Now, to tell you about that, the free washer and dryer does not always work. So, I will advise you to either take your clothes home every 2 weeks, or find your closest washer and dryer mat. Now, with that, they do have one on campus sometimes, or they have it written where it's the locust one on the chalkboard in the laundry room. Now, with you having your own washer and dryer at the dorms, they always are not empty a lot of times. And I know Thursdays at my school were wash day. So this is what I'm going to tell you guys. If you know your days when wash days are, then have your set wash day. Because washing clothes at college can be a task, because you have to get up early. If you have to go to class, that is going to be kind of difficult unless you and your dorm mate is real close. Now, if you and your dorm mate is real close, then she probably can wash your clothes or text you when they stop or something like that. But you and your dorm mate has to be real close for that to happen. Now, moving on. Wash your clothes while being washed in the dorm laundromat. And I already told you guys that. Watch your clothes. You can always ask your friend. If you are having problems with your roommate, and this is what I call a coming to the light conversation. During this conversation, you are not to argue, you are not to cuss, you are not to fight. It's a conversation. It's the beginning, the middle, the end, and a solution. Okay? And I started having these conversations when I was staying on campus at the university. Me and my roommate, we was not getting along at all. The story that I told you guys, that happened when I was in community college. I'm not going to tell the story about my university experience, because it's not big, and plus we both had fault in it. So I'm just gonna leave that where it's at. But if you guys are having a problem with your roommate, you can always say, look, we need to sit down and have a talk or something. If you have that roommate where you just not comfortable talking to, then why are you sleeping in the room with them? So I just don't know. You have to tell somebody that you want to switch roommates or something. Because if I can't get along with you, if we can't have a conversation, then why I'm sleeping in the room with you? Just saying. Try finding a part-time job, because I know college can be very demanding. College can also break your pockets if you're not careful. That's the reason why I says find a part-time job. If you are taking up 16, 18-hour classes, then find you a job that's not going to let you work over 20 hours a week, okay? Or maybe even 25. But between 20 and 30 hours, you can do that. But if you going to school full time, then you try to do a full-time job, one of them is going to fail. Well, three of y'all going to fail. Either going to be you in school or you in work. So, you have to be careful with a full-time job plus going to school. Now, honestly, I'm not going to say it can't be done, because I was going to work full-time, but I was also online. So, it's a difference. If you're getting all your classes online, it's a difference, because you still have to pace yourself to study. Because, to me, if you're getting it online, first of all, you are a trooper, okay? Because you have to learn how to study. You have to take good notes, and you just have to pay attention, close attention. The second thing I want to say is, if you have a full-time job and going to school online, you're amazing. But if you got kids, a job, and going to school, then you strong, sis. Cause I couldn't do it, honestly. But just know it can be done, okay? Just know, if you're not the person who like to study or anything like that, get a part-time job. Because you still can hit class, you still can go to work, still have enough time to get off and study, do a little homework, go to sleep, and get up and do it again. And sometimes if you're part-time, you don't work on weekends, because they say weekends for you to get ready for Monday. So that's kind of helpful, but at the same time, you have to make that known up front at your interview that you're a student, schools come first, and all of that. So yeah. And honestly, if you know you have a full-time job and you know you're gonna have a little trouble, this is the time where you need to get to know your professors. Throughout the school year, ask questions. Let them professors know who you are. Cause sometimes when you are not the type who speaks up for themselves or asks many questions, sometimes you fade in the back. Now again, I say ask questions and be known, but I'm not saying act out and don't do your work, because they will ignore you, okay? It's not like high school. High school, I feel like all the troublemakers got all of their attention. And all the people who was there to learn was put on the back burner. But in college, it's opposite. If you're there to learn, they will help you. But if you're there to cause trouble, you will get ignored. And remember this. What goes around comes around. If you in class, they teaching, doing all of this, and you act out, bruh, when test time come and you need them 2 or 3 extra points just to get you over the threshold, the threshold, they gonna remember that. And you're not gonna get them 2 or 3 points you needed. And it's nothing you could do. Cause they will not meet with you. They will not have meetings with you. They will not talk about your grades with you. They will not have no sympathy for you. Um, So yeah, you have to be on your A game when it comes to college. So yeah. And honestly, I feel like this, and I know most of you guys are just gonna look at the screen and roll your eyes at me right now, which I don't care because I do see you guys doing it and I don't care. But honestly, don't bring your car on campus. If you don't need one, if you're not coming from out of town, don't bring your car to campus. Cause one, honestly, you don't need one. Unless you're out of town and then you have to go back out of town to get to your house. But if you stay, I'll give it, if you stay more than 50 miles um, from the place you're going to school, then maybe. But if you stay within those 50 miles, why you need a car? Why? I can understand you have that car to go back and forth home, but honestly, if you don't need it, because for one, you can walk to class because you're not always going to find a parking spot. And honestly, finding a parking spot is more than, it takes a long time to find a parking spot when you're at school. So just be mindful of that. Again, if you are a freshman, I advise you, hold that thought. Okay, I'm back. If you are a freshman, I advise you to stay on stay in the dorm. Um because it's better socializing and all of that stuff. Um and plus you have to understand that right now you're entering into adulthood. I know when you turn 18 in high school, you're like, I'm an adult. You probably had the tendencies of an adult, but you're not an adult till you get out on your own. Honestly, that's the way I see it. Also, if you're not out on your own, if you pay your own phone bill, have your own bills, have your own job, but you're still living with your parents, that's an adult. But if you have to pull your own weight in your parents' house, that's an adult. If you could go to your parents' house and not do nothing, not pay no bills, your parents still paying everything for you, still putting clothes on your back, still feeding you, then that's not an adult, child. Like, I feel like people have that mixed up. And when it comes to that on campus, you have to show professionalism at all times. It's required. Because you never know who you'll come around. In college, you meet a lot of people. And I have to say, a lot of important people that you will probably meet again. So I just want to advise you guys to understand when you go to school, carry yourself as a professional. Because you never know, you might need those people to get you to your next step in life. Success is always key, failure is not an option. And I want you guys to go through school with that on your mind because I did. And now I'm working on my bachelor's. So yeah. Um and also this is important because it's just to help you with your study skills. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to have a video come out with that on it. I'm not for sure yet. But index cards is your best friend in school, especially college, okay? Buy you index cards. Make flashcards to study. Because I know when we was in kindergarten, we laughed when people were doing 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6. We was laughing when they did those flashcards. But honestly, when you're in college, you go back to that stage and start using flashcards, especially in anatomy and physiology, because all that is vocabulary, and you have to know it. And I can tell you guys, vocabulary is in anatomy, and then you have biology and microbiology and all of that stuff. Um, so yeah, you gonna need those index cards. The only thing that I will probably say that is kind of difficult is anatomy physiology when you have to learn like the bones, the muscles, and the sinuses and all that stuff. That's the hard part, because they're going to give you a printout of the body and then you have to label it. Now, the best way to do that is using highlighters, okay? Get you 3 or 4 different color highlighters and go with it. That's the only way I can tell you guys. The professor will not constantly remind you of due dates. So I know in high school they used to tell you Monday you have a test. Tuesday and Wednesday you're going to go over that test questions. Thursday come, they'll probably say, remember you have a test tomorrow? That's in high school, baby. Now in college, oh, you have a test next Friday. They will tell you that. Don't get me wrong. But when that Friday come, you will forget all about that test. Because honestly, some professors, not all, some professors will go on to a next subject. And the new subject they talk about is not going to be on the test sometimes. So you have to distinguish between the old stuff and the new stuff. And that's the way I'm telling you guys, you have to learn how to take good notes. But honestly, I must say, the professor will not tell you when your due date is. They give you a syllabus at the beginning of each semester. That syllabus is for you. That's your job. Get a planner, and then in that planner, write down everything you need to do. And this is how I do it. Make sure the planner has, listen up, because this is important. Make sure the planner has a full calendar. A full calendar. If you look on your mom's wall calendar, she has a full calendar that you can write on, okay? Make sure your planner has that. Then, also, in that same planner, make sure it has where it breaks down the days in per week. Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then make sure it has lines where you can write on it, okay? Now, this is going to help you to remember everything. It's going to help you remember when a paper is due, when your next test is due, when your homework is due, what's coming up next, what needs to be printed out, all of this stuff. And if you are a freshman in college, this can be very overwhelming. But get you a planner and it will help you, okay? And also, and I know some of you guys are probably going to look at me stupid, but I know in high school it was looked down upon. But in college, they prefer you to get a tutor. Okay, a tutor, especially when it comes to math. Make sure you have a tutor on hand. Because honestly, if you go out through the semester, then you're like, oh, I need a tutor. They are all gone. And plus, a tutor is basically a student who's getting paid to tutor you. And they prefer a tutor to only take in 3 people per, I think per semester, or maybe it's per week. I think it's per semester, if I'm not mistaken. But you'll have to look into that when you get on your school campus. But when I was on campus, I think it was 3 people per day. That's it. And then unless you pay for the whole semester, then that's great. But if you was like me and you only pay for a tutor when you needed them, then you will have to pay the same day you go. So that's why I say that just get your tutor ahead of time. Now let's go back to the dorms. Make sure you wear flip-flops in the dorms. And I'm not just talking about in the dorm halls. I'm not talking about in your room. I'm talking about in the bathroom at all times. I don't care if you're taking a shower. I don't care if you're getting up, going to the restroom in the middle of the night, throwing some flip-flops. That's why I think it's important to always have flip-flops by your bed. Some people had on house shoes. The only thing I have to say about house shoes is you really can't wash them like that, okay? When it comes to flip-flops, flip-flops sometimes are plastic. And then you can run those under hot water in a second. with some soap and Purex and all of that stuff and get them clean like you washing dishes. But when it comes to house shoes, you have to wait. You have to wash them. You have to do this. You have to do that. So that's the only reason why I said probably not the best idea. I also want to talk to you guys about your alarm clocks. Most of us now depends on the alarm clock that's on our phone. And those are not going to help you that much. So stop doing it, okay? When you get to college, buy you a physical alarm clock. Something that is going to help you, something that is going to wake you up. Because I know when I was in school on the first day, I slept through my alarm clock. Thankful that I had a backup, a physical alarm clock. When it comes to my phone alarm clock, I always set it an hour ahead to where it goes off an hour before my regular alarm clock do, because I feel like if I do that, then it'll wake me up out my deep sleep. So when my regular alarm clock goes off, I'm already half up, so I won't sleep through it. And I promise you, when you get older in age, you'll understand what I mean. But always buy you a backup alarm clock, and I always set both of mine. Another thing I want to tell you guys about is find ways of you taking notes. And I do have a video coming out. I just don't know when it's coming out, of ways I like to take notes. And you should take notes to help you better understand something. So that's why I say find ways to take better notes. I also want to say find resources at your school that find out what kind of resources that they have at your school. Some of us don't really care about what our school offers. Make sure you are in a social club, like tennis club, volleyball club, debate team, all of that stuff. Because it comes in handy. You never know. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know anything else that you want to know about school. If you have started school and you're a freshman, let me know how you like it. Let me know if you have any questions about school that I can help you with. Put them in the comment section. And like I said, if you want to see more videos like this, you already know what you have to do. And that is to let me know in the comment section. Also, anything that I have talked about will be in the description box, available for your use. Also, you can always stalk me on my social medias, okay? They're always open and available for questions. I think Facebook is the only one where you have to be my friend to send me a message, I think. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys. If it is the weekend, remember to stay out of trouble. You guys stay safe, and I want to see you guys back here Monday, or as of today, my next video. Bye guys.